I'm going to play this. Well, Mike will have to just catch up, but let's play the clip on number 4. And you had written something above it. Let's take the tweet first as well so I can just see what Rollo wrote above it. Okay, social conservatives don't care about young people. They care about votes. And that was the clip. Can we just play that clip so we can hear it?
The reason the divorce rate is so high now is more women we are capable to be financially independent.
So this is something I'm super passionate about because I think there's been a version of maybe fundamentalist Christianity that people have experienced that they felt really hurt by, and so they've kind of lashed out against it and rejected it. And I see this a lot, actually. But the reality is when, I was raised Protestant, went through this kind of semi-agnostic phase, kind of like you went through, and then I ended up Catholic after doing a ton of study and a ton of research and just being convinced by the beauty of it. And it was learning about how men and women are equal dignity, they're equal partners, learning about sex, what God's design is, which is a beautiful one, that it is about pleasure. It absolutely is about pleasure. And pleasure, it's not dirty or shameful, but it's also about procreation and the ability to bring life into the world. And it's designed to be within marriage, where you're in a lifelong public commitment to someone that you're going to give yourself 110% to. And that's how you build a beautiful family of love and respect, and your children are secure in your love that you have with your spouse. And so, I don't know all of your experiences, obviously, and everyone has had different experiences, but the reality is the social data proves that monogamous lifelong marriages make people happiest, they have the most sex and the best sex, and kids are healthier that way. And so that's why I know you're excited about that vision, Chase, and that's why we want to share that vision, not just because of some fundamentalist thing, but because it actually makes people happier and healthier in the long run.
You need to talk to my people then.
We'll continue on that.
And there were a bunch of clips that came out of this where I guess people had posted Lila's stuff, and she was saying essentially that, at one point Justin challenges her and says, does that mean that I won't be as happy as you because I have, X, Y, and Z set up? And she says no, because but my first beef with you was just that traditional conservatives don't care about these values, that they only care about votes. Because I am a traditional conservative, and I can tell you that I really do care about this stuff. I care about, and I think, I know Lila, not well, but I haven't even met her in person, but I know her work because I followed her real takedown of Planned Parenthood over the years, and she's done some phenomenal work. When nobody wanted to talk about Planned Parenthood, she ripped that organization to shreds, rightfully so. And I think that she really does want, whether you like her delivery or not, she's coming from a place where I think she really does believe that mom and dad in the home is best for society. So to say that traditional conservatives don't want what's best for society, that they're not, talking from a place of wanting improvements in society and improvements in community, I think that's wrong. I think that's where you make a messed up. Defend that. I would love to hear you defend that.
So first off, whenever I see social conservatives get into this space, and they, like I said, remember I was saying about the pick and pull method, how we love this part, but we don't like this part. So we want to dip our toes in doing clips of whatever podcast or Fresh and Fit, whatever that. And so whenever you hear that same message of sort of masculine self-improvement, it's not about the actual guy. It's about solving a problem for women at that time. So we have this big army of women saying there's not enough guys. They all suck. All these guys are girly men. They're manginas, whatever the euphemism is of the time, right? We'll say that they need to. It's the same man up narrative we've been telling guys for a long time. Although you can hear it come from the left and you can hear it come from the right. But what happens is when it comes from the right, the message for man up, be the best version of yourself is attached with a little ending there that says so that more women will have better guys so that they can, because what they're doing is the impetus of male improvement is so women can get married to these guys because there's not enough guys. So what they're trying to do is basically solve the female problem rather than be involved in that guy himself, like saying, you know what, here's why you ought to do these things.
But I don't think that's what it is.
Behind
I don't think it's to solve a female problem when it comes from traditional conservative women. I think it's to solve a societal problem, meaning that the goal for me always is how do we make men and women enter into more happy, productive, safe unions? Because the goal, we're really thinking about kids all the time. We're thinking about community. We're thinking about family. So when she speaks, and I know her delivery was off-putting to some, that's how Lila talks. That's her way. But I think what she was trying to say is that this isn't about women. This isn't about men. This is about union. This is about what's going to create the most cohesive structure for a family. And I think, honestly, as I was listening to her talk, you would probably agree with her on a lot of things. You believe in monogamy. You practice monogamy. You believe in family. And I've heard you extensively talk about how you believe that a monogamous structure is the best for society at large. So you're in agreement. There's just something that's happening with the delivery is not hitting home.
I'll explain the tweet here really quickly, because all of this stuff bubbles up to the top right around election season. So suddenly everybody's worried about what's wrong with the kids today, 18 months before November, the first Tuesday in November, when we have the election. So what I'm seeing, and I've seen this go through at least 3 different election cycles now since 2016, what happens is everybody who is in the red pill and wanted to be, sort of dip their toes in the manosphere, it is an outreach program for the people who they think are going to be their future voters. This time around, and this is just me spitballing here, but this time around, the culture war narrative is going to be what at least conservatives are going to say is, well, we need to fight moral degeneracy. We need to fight so we need to fight these guys who aren't about, closed on my end, closed on her end kind of things. We need to fight that kind of that degeneracy in the open. So where are those people at? Where are the people that we need to appeal to? They're on whatever podcast. They're on Fresh and Fit. They're on, Access Vegas, whatever it is. So they'll come out there and now they'll pay attention to those guys, because that's what they believe anyways, is the youth and the younger voter base. Am I saying that's right or that's wrong? No, but what I am saying is that the reason why you're hearing this right now is not because they actually care about those people in the first place. They care about that outreach to get those votes.